Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining SAP UI5 Fiori ODATA Gateway course from SMAX Technologies. So, we are from SMAX Technologies, and we have a community more than 1400. Now it has reached to 1600. Including ABAP on HANA and the data science courses which we are offering additional to this. So our website is you can just check the details at smaxtraining.com. So now again 1500 and more than that, and we are offering various courses like data science. And when coming to the SAP Fiori, this is particular course is on Fiori, UI5, OData, and Gateway. We also have ABAP on HANA plus UI5 Fiori, which we will be starting from tomorrow onwards. For ABAP on HANA, there is another dedicated trainer called Ganapati Adimulam. He is one of the popular trainer. Also, we are also offering ABAP on HANA, OData, and Gateway, and only exclusively ABAP on HANA or Gateway and OData. So various combinations for an ABAPer, and additional to that, the data science. Data science is a big buzz these days, and we expect a lot. IT corporates are expecting a lot more, machine learning programmers in upcoming year. Right, and if you want to view the details, just click on it. You will get a pop-up and click on one of them. Course content. You will be navigated to the page. To tell you, one of our adventures is this website is corely developed on UI5 and Fiori. So out of my passion, I have created the website in UI5 Fiori. Why not? When I'm giving a training, and when it is feasible, then I thought creating a website exclusively in the front end on a UI5 and Fiori. So you can get the details, the course content, and a similar kind of demo previously. And register for demo is done. Enrollment and details about mine, not exclusively, but these are the details where you can get it from the website. Other than that, I don't think those are much important. And you can look at the ABAP on HANA. I feel these days for an ABAP on HANA and UI5 Fiori OData are the skills that they have to improvise it. Now, going back to our course. Surendra is not able to hear me. What about others? Others are able to hear me. Just give me a minute. Let me reply Surendra. Now again, coming to your side, how you can interact with me. this is a pane which should be available on top right side of your screen. Maybe that would have been minimized. If in case it is minimized, this arrow will direct to the left side of us. You can just click on it. You can see on an expansion, you can see this kind of interface. Yeah, of course, this is a training program, and I expect not only me, from your side, you also expect trainers should be much more interactive. That's the reason people has joined the online live session. Otherwise, they would have gone for the recorded session. Yeah, if the timings are not feasible and you trust us, then you can go ahead with the recorded session as well. Where the previous batch sessions will be available to you. You can, pace up based on your timelines. And on the weekends, I would be supporting for your queries. Normally, most of the queries will be answered via WhatsApp. Right. So coming to the interaction. Yep, a couple of guys has already, posted their queries here. This is a questions pane where you can type your questions here so that it is visible to me only, not to everyone, my dear friends. Whatever the queries that you have placed will be visible to me, and I can answer you there. And also help me whenever, for more interaction, I would be asking questions throughout the session. So please reply on the questions pane. Obviously, there will be few questions where you will not be able to put it on the questions pane. You would like to ask me through an audio. So you can click on this hand raise icon. The reason, by default, everybody are muted. By default, everybody are muted. When you click on this hand raise icon, being a presenter, I will get a notification that, okay, as of now, Sheikh Fahad has raised his hand. So then, I can unmute him and I can take up the question from his side. That will be an audio question. Right. Yeah. Hi, Anup. So these are the two ways that you can interact with me. One is typing on a questions pane, one clicking on hand raise icon. Excuse me, sometimes I may not be able to take your question immediately because I will be proceeding with that particular content. But surely, once I am done with that particular topic or at the end of the session, surely I will be taking your question. Right. So next, how to contact us. You can send a mail to contact us at @smaxtraining.com, and this is a mobile number or the WhatsApp number where you can, send your message or you can call us. So it is, the details are also available on the website on top of it. Now going back, myself, Devinder Nayak, and I have 14 years of IT experience, and coming to online, it is the 5th year. So I work for Fujitsu, IBM, and Capgemini. Currently, I'm not working anywhere. I have dedicated for the training program. So I'm doing good as a trainer, as a corporate trainer. Coming to my background skills, UI5, CRM, Internet Sales Application, Enterprise Portal, Webden Pro, Java, and ABAP, BSP, Java, and EE. Soonly I'm going to add data science as well. Still, I am learning the new things. There are something called as Node.js, MongoDB are also into the shoes of my basket. So yeah, not a message, but as you are already aware that these days only one skill is not enough. We should keep on learning. So yeah, to tell you about myself, I'm a passionate programmer. So always, if there is any possibility within the requirement of the training or for my personal use, I would be learning those programs. And I would say, treat yourself as a programmer. Don't treat yourself as a abapper. Yeah, when you feel you are a programmer, you can learn any programming languages. Yeah. Now going back to, yeah, just give me a minute because I have to update one of the content. Yeah. Uh, so it was 30. Now I have completed 34 batches online, my dear friends. So I would say, yeah, be proud on that. So many, I have seen so many people got deployed into the project. Of course, struggled initially, but they are doing good. So yeah, a happy phase that most of the people got deployed into the UI5 and they are doing good. On the CRM, coming to my overall experience as an online trainer, it is, I'm reaching half century with this batch. And then, yeah, it is half century, right? So only online, yeah. 7 more corporate trainings. Yeah, I have taken 3 classroom trainings. Somehow I didn't felt that excellent when compared to the online. So yeah, closed the classroom trainings and yeah, pretty good doing it online. So I'm continuing with the online trainings. My achievements, yeah, this is one of the project which I'm doing. I should complete in 2 weeks. My deadline is 2 weeks to complete these Privis org test. I mean, this is a test URL which now it is at the test stage. So this is for a client called the Private Employee Network, where I'm developing application on UI5. The front end is UI5, back end is not SAP, it is Node.js. Yeah, as I said, the website smaxtraining.com is completely developed on UI5 and Fiori. One more is bookmycrick.com. Yeah, my passion even not only on the training but also towards the cricket. Almost all mad of cricket. So I started, you know, uh, creating a website, Book My Crick, where people can play the cricket, not a game, but the actual game, where they can book their ground and the positions. Anyhow, in the meantime, when we go to the regular session, I will let you know about the details. But these are my achievements on the UI5 side. Yeah. Going back, aim of the course for better career perspective, and it is more, the focus is more on once you are done with the course and the assignments, you should be able to get into the project and you should be able to perform well. That is the focus of it. Maybe people may ask, hey Devinder, we want to do the certification. This course helps the certification, but not, completely. It is not focusing on the certification. It is customized in a such a way that, you know, when we work on a project, what are all the things that we need to know and how we can deliver a project deliverables. Yeah, somebody has a question. Just let me take it. Anup has a question. Anup, I am just unmuting you. Yeah, Anup. Hey, Anup, you have raised your hand. That's the reason I have unmuted you. We can hear you, of course. Yeah, seems that no question from his side. Hey, when you don't have a question, just click on the hand raise icon again so that you can lower your hand. So this is how I would be getting notification that Anup has raised his hand, so he can just click on it again. I have lowered your hand, Anup. If you still have a question, you can raise your hand. Yeah. Now, who can take up this course? Of course, the trainer and the training program will target a particular audience. Being a trainer, I don't, feel or I'm not confident enough on focusing on multiple skill side people. This particular package is for an ABAPer. This particular is for an ABAPer. If you are not an ABAPer, there is a other training, not live session. It is a recorded session where the people can go through. But we expect, you are an ABAPer. If not, at least, I will be giving you the content where, you need to focus on at least. Now, going back, the skills required for developing SAP UI5 application. I have divided into the three parts: the front-end development, back-end development, and the SAP Fiori. Ideally, these are should be the part of SAP Fiori project or SAP UI5 project, but still these two are treated as the single set, and back-end development is treated as a other set. I have seen at least 40% of the project where the backend developer is completely different and the front end developer are completely different. But our focus is the comprehensive course. You can become a consolidated front end, back end, and SAP Fiori developer. So to get into the details of the front end development, to develop the front end, we call it as web user interface development or the front end development. So we should know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, no more jQuery. I'm sorry for that. Let me remove this. jQuery is not much required. We should know JSON and XML and SAP UI5 framework. I'm taking into the consideration. See, I have to develop a front end right away. So what are all the skills I need to have? And you should be able to consume ODATA services to interact with the data. And in that context, you should know entity data model and development tools like SAP Web IDE mainly, are the second option is Eclipse. So coming to these parts, I would be taking care. You need not to go through any other websites for this until I suggest, my dear. So don't waste your time. And I know that people are joining the training just to save your time. I'm pretty sure that if somebody has given a good time to you, you can also explore by yourself. Now we can see a lot of data on the internet. A lot of information is available, but with the training, you save your time and you at least get to know that these are the things that you can focus it on. So I would be focusing the HTML part, which is very, very relevant to the UI5. So just we are narrowing ourselves. CSS, JavaScript, yeah, jQuery I have absoluted, because within these 5 years of experience, I have used jQuery only one time. So I feel, yeah, not required. JSON and XML, I would be taking care, developing, understanding SAP UI5. It's a framework. It's a framework. So I would be taking care. So all these stuffs I would be taking care. You need not to worry about. If you are an ABAPer, that is enough for me. And we are doing this practice from the last 5 years, so you need not to worry about. Yeah, coming to the backend development. So SAP, you should know the basic ABAP, especially RFCs, BAPIs. ABAP OOPS sessions are available as part of the e-learning. If people are not acquainted with the OOPS, you can go through, but still I would say it is manageable, pretty much manageable without ABAP OOPS. But knowing it is always plus, right? And then ODATA. So I'm just dividing as a backend developer separately. Entity data model, and you should get acquainted with SAP NetWeaver Gateway Builder, also called as Gateway Builder. So this is about the backend development. And now coming to the Fiori, it's a combi of functional basis and technical, but still it is more relied on the technical developer. So the people says that I know the UI5, I have worked on a project. So ultimately organization is expecting more from the technical developer. He should assist the basis consultant, he should assist the functional consultant, what is his job. And yes, we are also performing few tasks of the basis, we are also performing few tasks of the functional consultant. Not, I would say, whole and soul. We can develop a Fiori application without their help, but at least we can take the assistance from them, and then we can develop, activate, deploy, and add our application to the SAP Fiori Launchpad. So that is the final focus. Final product is developing a UI5 application or extending UI5 application, and then deploying back to the server, and then adding it to the SAP Fiori. Right, going back, the topics which we are going to cover for today is the journey of UI, user interface, and then ultimately people are expect me to deliver what is SAP Fiori and what is UI5, what is the difference between them or the similarity. And yeah, ODATA as well, we are pretty new to it, and SAP Gateway. This is what you can expect from this training. Yeah. Now, yeah, any questions from your side, my dear friends? Please type it on a questions pane or raise your hands. Before getting into the topic, I can take a question from your side. Yeah. Anybody has any questions for me? At least you can say no, my dear friends. That will help me. How? Seems Vamshi has a question. Yeah, Vamshi, I'm just unmuting you. Hey, Vamshi.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, how are you?
Hello, Mike. I'm fine, Mike.
Yeah.
A small question in that previous slide. You have showed me the front end slide, right? Front end, what are the topics that are involved in developing front end design?
Yeah.
Right. JavaScript, JSON. You see, as per my knowledge, with HTML and CSS, we will be designing the UI. With JavaScript, we will be writing the backend code. I mean, the code related to the application. What we do with JSON and XML? I don't know what we do with JSON and XML.
Beautiful. Yeah. See, the role of the JSON and XML is to hold the data. They are the data formats. Data formats. Now, when it comes to the
Okay.
data formats, what is the requirement of that particular data format? See, the data is coming from the SAP to the browser.
Okay.
UI5 is on the browser.
Oh yeah,
UI5
UFI
is
on the
at the
browser.
browser,
Okay.
and now the data from the SAP is traveling to the browser, means to the UI5 application. Now, how UI5 application will take up that data? In which format it takes up the data? It could be in a JSON format, it could be in an
Okay.
XML format. So it holds the data in that format, and rest of the case UI5 framework will take care how to treat that data and how to showcase that data at the same time. When we are creating the data from the UI5 side, how it is getting transformed into the JSON or XML, and it is giving to the SAP.
Okay. The data from the front end is converted into XML. Those XML will be given to ODATA. It will take to SAP, right?
A kind of, yeah, you can take it in
Okay.
that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
the doubt I got.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. You can lower your hand by clicking on the hand raise icon again. Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Yeah, Surendra has a question. Surendra, I'm just unmuting you. Yes.
Yeah, good morning, Devendra.
Yeah. Good
So,
morning, Surendra.
so just want to ask one thing that without jQuery, can we get the data from the other application like you told me that you said that we
Good,
do
good,
not require
good,
jQuery.
good
So
question.
without jQuery, can we get the JSON and XML from the
Yeah, good question,
backend?
Surendra. Yeah, good question, Surendra. Now, what
Yes.
happens? Just I will be muting you, dear, for a while because there is a discrepancy at the backside. Yeah. So the question from the Surendra is, hey, how we can get the data from the SAP without the help of jQuery? Now, to answer that, what is jQuery? Again, jQuery is a JavaScript. But the question is very much valid. Now, what SAP has done is they have used jQuery. Upon the jQuery, they have used their own library. Of course, unless until we get into the details of it, you will not be able to analyze it. But to answer to the Suresh, so now recently, what SAP has said, not very recently, 2017 June UI5 conference. I mean, they have made a conference in 2017 June. They said we are going to absolute jQuery. So what they are doing, whatever, as I said, jQuery is nothing but the JavaScript. If we have to write a JavaScript code, 30 lines, 50 lines, 60 lines, we can acquire it by jQuery by writing a single line. So jQuery is a JavaScript library. That's all overall. So taking into that one more as a consideration, as SAP said, we are going to absolute the jQuery as the mediator, and they are just taking the help of the JavaScript. And coming to my work, which I have worked for these 5 years, I have used jQuery for only one time. So why I have to confuse you, and why I have to make things should be pretty much simplified when we are learning. And of course, internet is a beautiful world where you can explore it. So to answer that, now no more jQuery is required, as SAP are going to absolute the jQuery library from the framework. Yeah, I'm just unmuting you, Surendra. Yeah. Does that answers your query?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So mates, that's how I would be taking questions from your side. Anybody has any question? Yeah, at least you can type it on a questions pane. Right, so let us get into the journey. As we are pretty much aware that SAP GUI was the first user interface in 1970s, because there was no browser at that time. So ultimately they have to come up with their own UI, and they have came up with SAP GUI. But by 1990s, browser has technology has evolved, and what I say, the generation has moved to the next level because of the browser. So SAP has to ultimately should get compatible with the browser. So they have started with ITS, Internet Transaction Services, where few transactions we can access via SAP browser. Then yeah, we heard about the WebDin Pro. So because of the limitations of the ITS, because of the user interface, now they have moved to the BSP and WebDin Pro. I'm not sure which one has came first, but within my career, I have seen both are traveling parallelly. I have heard buzz very initially that BSP is going to evolve a lot than the WebDin Pro. But with my experience, I have seen more projects on the WebDin Pro comparing with the BSPs, because of the skill sets, because of the complexity of the application, because the client is not much interested on the user interface. He is much focused on the business processes. But yeah, WebDin Pro is good at developing the application rapidly. BSP is good at the UI flexibility. So SAP, what they have done, they have taken the consideration advantage from the BSP, advantages of WebDin Pro. They have defined another framework called SAP WUI, Web UI. It was popular as SAP CRM Web UI, which is a combination of BSPs and WebDim Pro. Yeah, by the time we have reached 2007, 8, 9, 10, and it's a smartphone period, and application has to be compatible with the mobile and should be very lightweighted, because the capacity of the mobile is much less, should be less. So yeah, they have started their vision from the 2007, and they worked very harder, and they released beta version in 2012 and the actual production version in 2013, which is called as the SAP Fiori, my dear friends. So where the application, you can run it, the same application, I can run it on the mobile, tablet, and the desktop. With my experience, when I was a developer of WebDin Pro. For the BlackBerry, we have to develop a separate application, not the same application. So device-based application, platform-based applications are were there. But with the evolution of SAP Fiori, the first thing that we can say is it is browser independent, platform independent, and device independent. So you can run it on any browser, any platform, and any device. It is compatible to that. So that is where the SAP Fiori getting the popularity, and you can even Google it. So we got SAP UI got award from the Red Hat, which is one of the big success from the SAP side. So SAP got recognized for their betterment on the design as well. So yeah, it is getting evolved, still growing on, but I would say currently most of the projects are getting converted or got converted from the Webdin Pro to the Fiori or the CRM to the Fiori. I have seen couple of projects where previously they have developed on SAP CRM Web UI, and now they want in a Fiori. There are few applications on a Webdin Pro, they want to move it on the Fiori. So this is what the evolution, and just a bit animation to show you. And of course, by this time you might have seen the SAP Fiori screens. Now, what is Fiori? Excuse me, let me share my experience with the Fiori. And yeah, let me tell you, we are going to conclude this session at 8 o'clock. So maybe, people are want to get ready to the office. So yeah, the sessions are from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, my dear friends. So anyhow, if you have any issues, you can contact the contact us or to the number you can WhatsApp. Yeah, fine. Now, this is my experience, my dear. What is SAP Fiori? In 2014, I have implemented one Fiori project by the June of 2014. But yeah, one thing I would like to say that still I was not able to define what is Fiori by the time. By that time, I mean to say 2014. I used to search, is it a technology? Java is a technology, right? So .NET is a technology, is a framework, is a language. Is it something, is a language or what it is? Is it a platform? Like now SAP NetWeaver is a platform. Windows is a platform. Linux is a platform. Is it a platform? No. Yeah, one of my colleagues said, is it a user interface? So it was like a shock for me. Yeah, I can visualize a language, I can visualize a technology, I can visualize a platform. If somebody says it's a user interface, and yeah, he's right. Yes, it's a user interface. So being a programmer for more than a decade, it was, I was not able to digest what exactly they mean to say by user interface. Isn't it, my dear friends? If somebody says SAP Fiori is a user interface, how we practically visualize it? Very tough for us, the way that we have, worked. So for that, I have portrayed a small story to understand it, what is Fiori all about. And yeah, Fiori is also called as customer experience or user experience. These days they are coming with one more term called UX strategy. Oh my god, why they are confusing a lot. We are pretty fine for the last decade that we were working as an ABAPer. It's a module tool program, ALE, IDOC, RFCs, BAPs, Smart Forms, Adobe Forms, Webdintro ABAP. Yeah, pretty good. But now what is this? Yeah, it means a lot in, after, 2010, especially when there is a lot of new things are coming with relevant to the design. So nowadays you can see a design on websites. They are beautiful. They are focusing on what they require. Yeah. Now let us not indulge on that, but let me get into the SAP. So by 2007, right, they said, let me have a new UI. Let me redesign everything. Let me give a best user interface to my customers. So he has taken a paper or a PPT or a MS Paint or some design tools. So he has taken, let us take a paper, and he has designed, he has taken a use case as, let us take, something which is searching of a product. For searching of a product, he has designed a screen. Designed the screen, my dear, not developed, my dear friends. Designing is different, development is different. I hope everybody are within. Let me repeat the same. He has designed, not developed. Designed it and taken that design to the customer, showing that, hey, already, you were using the product, search criteria. Is this is the new UI which I was, planning to develop. Is good to you? What do you say? They have taken the feedback from the customers and they have made the changes to that design. I call this as the Fiori, my dear friends. I call this as a Fiori. Excuse me, I should say, because when we talk about the Fiori, again, there are different dimensions are there. Let me give you the clarity. See, where there is a big apartment, and when we see from the front side, it looks differently. When I see from the top, it looks differently. When I see from the other side, it looks differently. I'm giving the front face, my dear. There is a bit more than these when it comes to the Fiori, but I don't want you to overwhelmed with the lot of information, rather than to keep things simple for us. And that is what the best about this training, my dear. I mean, I try to keep things simple rather than the complicated. Right. Yeah. Since you are a beginner to intermediate, I should focus more on making things simple. Yeah. So this is what the Fiori all about. Now, how many applications I have to develop? How many transactions we have in SAP, not in ECC, my dear, because it is not relevant to the ECC. It could be for the SRM, CRM, SCM, BI, BW, could be any. Yeah, right. So how many applications I have to develop? N number of applications. Currently, we have more than 10,000 applications provided by the SAP, but it is not, it doesn't suffice. It should be more than that. So see, developing one application should be fine. For example, if I have to develop a application for my own online training, this design is fine, because I'm just focusing more on the SAP side. And now, yeah, went into the data science. Again, data science is also the part of the SAP. Yeah, let us not indulge that. But if I have to develop a application for only online training, not focusing on ABAPers, but online training, that could be a PHP, then I have to redesign it. Yeah, in a different way. It should be pretty much global. All right. And, if that is very specific, then I have to design it in a different way. But now, yeah, when it comes to the SAP is ERP, right? It is more of ERP. Then, yeah, how many applications there could be? N number. So how many designers required? N number. And when they are designing, it should treat it is like, they are focusing on one context. One designer likes yellow color, another designer likes blue color, another designer likes green color. Yeah, no, not that way. So to centralize their information, ultimately we have to have the SAP Fiori design principles. and there are so 5 design principles, so that every designer mainly focuses on these, and based on that they design the application. They design the application. So let us take one by one. Yeah, to start with, when you are designing, I hope everybody are in, right, my dear friends? Let us treat ourselves as a designer for a while. Of course, our role is developer, not designer, but let us feel, my dear, for the first time, maybe within our career, never we felt like we are the designers, but uh, just feel that we are designers. So when you are designing an application, first make sure for which role you are designing it. For which role you are designing it. So each app is specific to a user role. So don't try to create one application. Hey, the same application works for the salesperson, same application works for the manager. Don't do that. So now the server has a huge capability of holding so many files, lot of RAM, yeah, to speed up the website. So don't interfere two roles into one application. So for salesperson, create one application. For manager, create one more application. Right. So that is the thumb rule 1. Now the second thumb rule, when you are designing it, make sure it is responsive. Means you have to design 3 designs. So app layout, apps adjust their layout based on the available screens. So you have to design, this design means one single application for that user. You have to, again design how it looks on a mobile, how it looks on a tablet, how it should look on the desktop. Yeah. Is it making sense to everyone, my dear friends? So not only role based, but you should design, yeah, for the salesperson on the desktop it should look like this. For the salesperson on the tablet it should look like this. For this, we are talking about design, my dear friends, not the development. Is clear to everyone? Right. So second one, the designers should take account of responsiveness. The third one is simple. So when we have seen the GUI, so being a Java developer, I started my journey as a Java developer. The designs were, comparing with the SAP, they used to be much simple. But when I seen the SAP screens for the first time, I thought, what it is? I'm into the different world. Lot of tabs are available. So many data which is not relevant to the user. So keeping that in mind, when you are designing, make sure you design for the user as simple as possible. As simple as possible. Don't try to overwhelm with a lot of data. What is required to the user? You understand the requirement and develop the page in that simplistic way. See here, first, a list of employees. He has to select one of the employee. Then only, show him the details. Don't show, all these details here and let him select. So first, give him a UI where let him select the UI. Then show him that particular details so that the things looks much simple on the browser. Now, the other one is, yeah, just give me a minute. Yeah, coherent. This is one place where most of my students ask, can you repeat it again? Yeah. Because we haven't seen these kind of vision. We are always there is a data and we have to show it on the report or on a module tool program and so on. So we haven't thought very much about the UI. So what has to be shown on the first page, how we can simplify it, all this. Yeah, coherent means no matters how many applications, they should follow the same design footprint. Means the texture should be the same, the background should be the same, the colors, the design and the branding should be the same. Just like if you can see these applications, they look very similar. The design, the colors, you know that is what the coherent means. So if a person worked on these approved purchase order, he can easily search for the opportunities, he can search for the contacts easily, so he can easily can adapt to the other applications as well. So when you are designing, make sure, my dear friends, you have few design templates, and that is what SAP has provided. And yeah, so now coming to the coherent means application should look very, very similar. They should look like the same. You should get confused whether you are on a purchase order page or an opportunity page or the my contact. Just looking at the headline, you can see the contact and opportunity. You should be able to get the information. So they should look very, very, very similar, and thus the same look and feel you should get. That is what the coherent means. And finally, to make our end user happy, the UI should look you know, delightful to the user, not like uh, not like my website. Excuse me, I'm not a good designer, but it should look delightful with the delightful colors, a bit animation if you want to add it, but not recommended. So that when it is delightful, what happens, the end user will spend bit more time. For example, we bought a new mobile. Ultimately, looking at the UI, if the UI is so good, phone user experience is good, then we will spend bit more time on the UI, installing few applications and playing with the features of that particular mobile. So when we spend time, ultimately the training is not required. In the same way, when your application is delightful, ultimately end user will be happily to look at the all applications he works on, and he should be able to understand it easily. So this is what is all about the Fiori. Fiori is all about the design, my dear, based on the design principles. Any questions for me? Yeah, Sheikh has a question for me. Just I'm unmuting you, Sheikh. Hello, Sheikh Fahad. Hello. I'm not able to hear you, dear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, hi Devender. Yeah, just a
Hi,
quick
Sheikh.
doubt.
And first of all, I'm extremely sorry I was not able to respond to your most of the queries in the chat box. These days, I was quite busy with playing a tournament. So I'm sorry. I thought
Oh,
of replying you, but yeah, yeah,
okay, no issue.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
you said that regarding design part, we need to design different three designs is required for mobile, tab, and then for desktop.
Right.
But we need to develop only one app, right?
Exactly.
and this one app will based on the screen size, it will fix into different screen size, right? Like for desktop,
Beautiful.
it will.
That is what called as a responsiveness. So these days, with the help of, corely, I'm getting into the core concept with the with the help of CSS. In a CSS, I can write if the device width is mobile, then show the font size in so and so.
Okay.
If that is the screen size is tablet, show that font in so and so. That adaptability is there with the latest CSS one. Corely, it is a playground of CSS, but ideally what SAP has done is, being a developer, we will not focus much more on that. They are the inbuilt capability of it, and if there is small customization is required, we can do it.
Okay. So we need to develop only one app.
Yeah. You can see, these particular ones. See, on a desktop, it is showing now. Yeah, I'm trying to, make it in a mobile. This is the mobile, my dear, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Now see how it has adapted. So I have not written any code for this. So it is inbuilt capability of it. If not, now one more problem you can see here, the texture is not complete. This is not completed. So I cannot see that. So for this, again, I have to write a bit of code for that to minimize the texture of it. Means most of the controls are compatible for all the devices, and they read the device, they adapt it. There are few devices, few contents are there where we need to take care about
Changes. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer?
Yes, Devendra. Thank you.
Wonderful. Just I'm meeting you. Thank you, Sheikh. Right. Let us go back now to where we are. Anything else? Any other questions for me from other mates? Now, ultimately, now the question comes where the UI5 fits into. This is what the Fiori, then why we are talking about the UI5. For I would say, we are not the designers, we are the developers. So our job is to develop UI5 application. That is what I said. I worked on Fiori application, and I was not able to define what is Fiori. I was not able to feel what is a Fiori. Don't care. In one way. No, you need not to care about what is a Fiori, what is a design principles. No, I'm not that interested. That should be taken care by the designer, or that should be given by the SAP at most. And where the UI5 fits into. Let us come back. UI5 is underneath technology to develop that application. As I said, we are designing it. We have designed it. Maybe on the paper, maybe on the PPT, but now we have to make it into the real time. Or we can make it in a real time. So there should be a technology. There should be a framework. There should be a language which can talk to the browser. Because the client is a browser at most. Right. So UI5 is a technology. So maybe it's a big mess for us very initially. Let us take ME21N. What is that? Isn't it a module pool program? So I don't know ABAP. When you say module pool program, I will ask then what is ABAP then? You are saying MV21N is a module pool program, then what is ABAP? So when you say SAP has provided 10,000 Fiori applications, what is UI5 then? What is ABAP for the module pool program? It is underneath programming language which we have used to develop the module pool. Module pool is a design. So In the same way, ABAP program UI5 is a technology, UI5 is a framework, UI5 is a language which speaks to the browser. And let us see what is UI5, why it is, where it is. Because for the browser based, already WebDin was there, BSP was there, CRM Web UI was there. I mean SAP Web UI was there. But why? Let us start with what means the content inside it. The content, technology wise or the learning wise, it's based on the HTML5. See, my dear, if we understand HTML well, means in a better perspective, not the HTML which is available in a W3 schools, then UI5, designing the UI5 is simpler, dear. I would say designing the UI5 is simpler because the syntax of HTML, the syntax of developing view of the UI5 is the same, but we should understand the core content of the HTML5, and that is where means I will be teaching you the HTML5 which is required for the UI5. Is that enough? No, my dear. We need to know the JavaScript, and don't worry about the JavaScript, my dear friends. And JavaScript is not a Java. You should be confident programmer and don't rigid yourself like I am an abapper, not a programmer. Yeah. Get into the shoes of the JavaScript. JavaScript is getting a lot of popularity, and when you learn the JavaScript, you are out of the shoes of SAP, my dear friends. Yeah, why you are making yourself rigid to the SAP? Get into the world of JavaScript. Yeah. With your effort, you can learn the JavaScript very well, and overall HTML5 and the JavaScript by which the UI5 is being developed, evolved. Why? Already they were there. Open sources. HTML and JavaScript are open sources. What is the advantage of open source? When it is open source, so many people will use it. When so many people are using it, so many forums are there, you will get a lot of solutions. Even that is pretty good for me being a trainer, my dear. I need not to teach everything, but I need to teach what is required from where you can fetch the information from the internet. Lot solutions are there. And that is one of the reasons they have created a new UI, new framework. And one more, cross-browser compatible. This is, this bulletin, this point is for me, my dear, being an enterprise portal developer, being a WebDin Pro developer, being a BSP developer, being, developer for, there was one more, Web UI. So most of the SAP product was very, compatible to the Internet Explorer, not to the Chrome and Mozilla. I used to get the tickets from the client that he is accessing on a Google Chrome. He is not able to view that UI, or it is not behaving as it is as in Internet Explorer. But now with the UI5, we don't have that problem. It is cross-browser compatible, means the look and feel and the behavior will be the same in all the browsers. Responsive, as I said, adapting to the device size. One more, I would say, the best part of UI5 is you can work offline and online. As you know, when there is no internet, still we can type it, we can send some data. When we are on an internet, it gets synchronized. In the same way, now from 2015, not 15, yeah, maybe the end, 2015, SAP supported offline support as well. Means I have seen one of the requirement in the 2014. a buddy asked me that, we have a coal mine project, coal mines, and the user will get into the coal mines and he will take a snapshot and he will upload it to the UI5 application, and it should get synchronized once he gets into the internet. That was not possible at that time, so that's the reason I said 14 or 15. But in 2015 it has came, and when it has came, I have informed him. He said yes, we have already seen and we are trying to implement it. Yeah. And another, predefined controls means you need not to develop everything from the scratch. See, this is, I have not developed this from the scratch. So this UI is available, I have just used it. For example, this design is available, I have just placed these buttons. I have placed these buttons. I have placed them. So we need not to develop everything from the scratch. All these controls are available and just I'm using them, and the customization is also possible, my dear. See the alignment of them. So see the alignment. This one, when I focus, yeah, I can do that, right? So most of the templates, most of the designs, you can see this is the header, and these are the bulletins, and this structure is being given, and we need to understand which control I have to use and what are all the parameters I have to provide. So already most of the templates are given in a form of controls. Yeah, and the base part which we need to understand in a UI5 is a control. If we understand the control, 50 to 60 part of it is done, my dear friends. So this is why we have to go with the UI5, which is not available in other UI technologies of SAP. Where? Yeah, the best thing is in a ERPs when the backend is SAP. Yeah. I have seen, my dear, 2 years back, the backend is SAP, front end is Angular JS. I said, hey, why you are not recommending to use the UI5? Being a SAP consultant, first of all, whether we are the consultants or the developers, that we need to make sure. As being a consultant, we can suggest the client the best practices. Yeah, I have seen the front end was Angular JS. For me, I would say, hey, this is too bad, my dear. When SAP has given their best UI, which is SAP UI5, and which is very advantageous, where a lot of flexibility is there, why you are going with Angular JS? Is it just because the lack of skills? Yes, it was the answer, my dear. They don't have UI5 developers, so they went for the Angular JS. Fine. And when the application has to run on the different devices. For example, we have a WebDintro application. WebDintro application runs very well on the desktop, right? But the performance, again, coming to the performance of the WebDintro is bit more heavy weighted program, means lot of things has to load on the browser. But when it comes to the UI5, yeah, it is lightweighted than the WebDintro. Offline and online support. So in these cases, we will use the UI5 applications, right? So we have discussed about the Fiori is a design, now the development, but what is gateway? For example, with the UI, when we have a knowledge, when we learn what is a control and so on, yeah, we can design it. On the browser, we can render this. But from where the data will come on the browser? Of course, from the SAP. Now, how the interface is happening from the browser? This is a UI5 browser application. Now, from the SAP, how it is getting these data? Now going back. On the browser, what is required, my dear? The URL. Let us please consider this as a URL. smax.com purchase order tracking. So when you paste this URL, when you press enter, what is happening? The browser will retrieve the application from a server. From a server, it will retrieve the application, will get loaded on the browser. That application contains a lot of HTML files, CSS files, JavaScript files that gets loaded on the browser, and after that, yeah. So once that got loaded on the browser interprets it, reads it, understands it, then the screen appears. That's fine, but where is the data? So for the data, it has to communicate via ODATA. ODATA is one of the popular interface. ODATA is an interface where it can communicate with the SAP. But SAP is not genuinely compatible with the ODATA. See, before this we have not heard about the ODATA, but still we worked on SAP. So SAP has came up with their own component called SAP Gateway. SAP Gateway is an add-on component to the SAP by which you can talk to the OData. So SAP Gateway understands the OData and transforms it to the understandable pattern or the language of ABAP, retrieves the data and responds to the OData. So this is what completely happens. Now, any questions on this, my dear friends? This picture gives you the complete overview of it. Any questions on this? So this is what we have to learn. The front end, how to develop the UI5 application via OData. Now how we request the backend to retrieve the data, to create a data, to update a data, to delete a data. Now, what is OData? OData stands for Open Data. It is an open source one, which is provided by the Microsoft, and we can use it. And what it is providing? A data as a service. That is what about the OData, my dear, and it is widely accepted in the market. Seems one of us, our mate, has a question. Who is that? Hey, Surendra, I am just unmuting you. Yeah, Surendra.
One question, our front end get data from through the NetWeaver, or our GUI server, GUI5 server get the data from SAP. That OData get from.
Dear, GUI is always a client. See, normally when you see a GUI is at this place. The server is sitting at somewhere and we are typing. So nothing related to the GUI. So we are hitting the server.
Yes.
We are hitting the server. From the browser is hitting the server, not the UI.
So that arrow should be from GUI5 server to the SAP NetWeaver gateway, or it should be from GUI5 interface to the NetWeaver gateway.
Oh, you are saying UI5 or GUI? It's UI5, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. See, dear, what happens? The browser is connecting, not the SAP UI5 server. So the browser, just before what happened? Just let me go back. So this is the application now completely loaded on the browser. So once it is loaded, there is no connection between these two. Now browser understands it. Browser got loaded with that particular application. Now browser calls the OData. Browser calls the OData, not the server.
Okay.
Got it right?
Yes, yes.
See, let us get into your way. If this has to call, again you have to call the data in a UI5. Again you have to give it to the browser. It's an additional
Yes.
effort. So yeah, browser can directly call the OData service. And
Okay.
yeah, and one more thing. See, when a browser should be able to call means it should be HTTP. When it is HTTP only, the browser can communicate. Browser will communicate with the HTTP only. One of the most compatible protocol that the browser can communicate, can understand is HTTP. That is one of the reason OData is a HTTP protocol, which we will discuss in a detail when we talk about the OData. Yeah, got it, Surendra?
Okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah, almost I'm done, my dear. So now people can ask me the questions. Surendra, do you have any further questions? You can just lower your hand if you don't have. Sheikh, I'm just taking. Yeah, Sheikh Fahad.
Devendra, regarding SAP Network Gateway,
Mhm.
so it's like it will convert the OData into a format which is understandable by SAP.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So is it the other way also? Like, let's say from SAP, it will convert to
Good question.
OData format.
Good question, dear. Unless until somebody asks, SAP will not give. Yeah, good question. But yeah, that understanding will give you, when you can use this OData. See, there should be a request to the gateway. Otherwise, gateway will not ask to the ABAP and ABAP will not return. You got it? Right? I cannot make an
Oh,
alert. Triggers are not possible in the in this format. Means for every 5 minutes, SAP will send a data. SAP will not send a data. For every 5 minutes, you call the OData. Then
okay.
then see, it is HTTP, as I said. HTTP will get here and HTTP will get into the DIAG protocol. I don't remember the full form here, excuse me. DINPRO Action Gateway, something was there. You can Google it, because ABAP and means SAP uses DIAG protocol. So protocol means for the communication, for sending the information. So this gateway will understand this, which is HTTP, and convert into the DIAG. Again, will gives back to it in a DIAG. Again, it converts into the HTTP. That HTTP will get as a response and will reach to the browser. Browser contains our UI5 application, will interpret that data. Now it will show the data. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But I like the question is whether the SAP does automatically. SAP will not do unless unless you are asking me the question, I will not answer you. Okay.
Okay.
So a request should go to the gateway, then only it responds.
Okay. Okay. So let's in one example, let's say the app is for leave request.
Hmm.
Then we are entering few details and then submit it.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we have submitted.
Or not like submit.
Yeah.
We'll press the employee we'll give the employee number and then we'll press get detail button.
Yeah. So it goes.
What?
Goes.
Okay. To NetWeaver.
Yeah. Here it goes here. Here we have written a programmer, backend developer. Now it goes to the database, got the data, get into the internal table, get into the compatible to the OData again. Internal table, it is now you have to convert that into the XML JSON, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Now give it to
So
the
that
OData. Yeah.
so that gateway will do it automatically, or we need to?
the data transformation automatically can be done by the gateway.
Oh, okay.
But what should be the structure of the data? See, that is not automated, right? That is business specific, and that is what we will be learning. See, if you have to show the product data, what data you want to show? Product ID, product name, type code, category. So that is developer defined one. And what is the type of it? So type of ID, is it a number, is it a character?
No.
So these are the things which we have to define it. The data model, we have to define it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we will give it to the ODATA. ODATA will take beautifully. And here what it is there, UI5 application is there. UI5 application will take that data. We call that process as a data binding. Now, yeah, whether being that front-end developer, whether he is showing the data or whether he is hiding the data, that comes to the front-end part, and it showcases the data. And again, you are hitting, now you got the data, you have made the changes, clicked on update, go. It has to understand whether it's update. Okay, it is update. So go to that particular program where you have written, backend developer has written the data for the update process. So it goes there, okay, based on the update process which has been written, it goes to that particular database, it updates the entry, and yeah, when it is update, it has to say yes, got succeeded. So it will say to the front end, success.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, yeah, I think Satyajit has a question. Yeah, just I'm unmuting you, Satyajit. Satyajit, you have muted yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yeah,
Is it
we
audible?
can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. Suppose I'm requesting data from SAP through browser, right? So this gateway artifacts will be created. So where do I need to write the code? Inside the artifacts or any on the OData, right?
Yeah, dear. The backend development will happen here in the gateway, in the SAP. The backend
Okay.
development
So
will happen here, and the front end development will happen here. Not development.
okay. So
Developed.
so if I will retrieve the data, so it will be on the gateway artifacts. I have to write the code, right?
Gateway, yeah, gateway will have the artifacts which which calls that particular class or a method from the SAP ABAP stack.
Okay, then how is OData is related to this? Means OData is a transfer of the data only, right? It will convert the data.
Yeah. Okay. See,
because
let me show you the OData. Ideally, OData. This is the OData, right? This is a URL. After all, this URL I am calling in the SAP, right? In a JSON format. Now I'm requesting the server to give me the data of the customers in JSON format. Now when I press enter, now it is going to the server now. So it is going to the server. This is the OData, right? This is how we call the OData. Now it reached to the gateway, and it is a read process, right? So it checks for the read process which method is responsible. It goes to that particular method, and that method is available in the ERP. That could be in a ECC or SRM or CRM. The backend implementation. We call it as a backend implementation. The backend, there was an implementation that the gateway knows very well. So this is the kind of request. Request is from this particular Northwind SVC for the customer, and that is what it interprets. And based on that, it goes to that particular method and it triggers that method. Within that method, what you have written, it is the developer scope. So its role is till reaching to that particular method.
Okay.
And from that method, once that executed, what it has returned, that method has exported, that data gateway takes and will give it to the OData.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So OData is basically the format of the data that's need to be present, right?
In one
Or
way,
it's
dear, OData is a
hmm.
protocol as well, because it is trying to communicate these two ones. And OData is a technology as well. So, but
Okay.
that technology is being developed by the Microsoft and given it as an open source. So we are using that technology, and it's a protocol. It's a query protocol as well. Now you can see here that I have queried as JSON. Give me the format in a JSON, and let me check whether I have. See, I'm querying one more, top two. So OData is a query protocol. I'm querying and saying that only get me only two data, not many. So that is an advantage of the OData. So it is not
Okay.
only just interfacing between them, but it is also filtering the data, and that is pretty much important when we are accessing on a mobile, because mobile is lightweighted. So
Hmm.
we should
Okay.
not overwhelm with a lot of data to it. Whatever the data is required, the gateway has to give it to me. So for that, OData, you can, on top of it, you can query on the gateway. So this request is going to the gateway, saying that, hey, give me the data in a
Hmm.
JSON format, and only top.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Anyhow, we will get into the detailed one when we do the practicals. Then only, a lot of things will get clear, right, Satya?
Okay. Okay. Sure. 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 Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anything else?
No, that's yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Fahad, you have further questions for me? Yeah, seems like. Yeah, I'm just unmuting you. Yeah, Sheikh Fahad?
Yeah, Devender.
Yeah.
Hi, Devender. So this query to get only top two JSON in JSON format. This query will be written in UI5.
Yeah, now, yeah, this is what the query we need to use in our UI5. And UI5 will get
Okay.
these data. And how this dot, you want to give this data to the client in this format? No, right? In a beautiful format, whatever, maybe in a tabular format, maybe in a form format, right? So that is what the representation that UI5 does. So it takes the data and now it represents the data. But it is the read process. Also, it allows us to create a data, update a data, delete a data as well.
Okay. Okay. So this code and the code at backend should be like related.
Yeah. It will trigger one of the method. It will
Okay.
trigger one of the method of above. What is that method? How the gateway
Okay.
is calling that particular method only. Why not the other method? That is what, being a backend
Okay.
developer, we need to understand. Front-end developer, I need not to know that, right? Front-end developer,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
need to know how to format this query. That's it.
Yes. Okay. Okay. And Devender, when this course
Yeah,
will start?
I'm coming there. I'm coming there, dear. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The last, I'm just ending up. But before that, let me. I thought of taking the queries from the people. Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, since asked, so let me. Hey, what happened to this? Yeah. Just give me a minute. My PPT got struck. Yeah. So the timings are 6:30 to 8 a.m. IST. I mean, the way that we have taken now, it's 8 o'clock. Uh, Now we are moving. Generally, it was 1 hour. Now we are moving to the 1.5 hour, because there are few topics which I am not able to conclude on a day one, which should be concluded. If we divide it into two sessions, again we are wasting at least half an hour. And the days are Monday to Friday. It should be completed within 5 to 6 weeks, my dear. So ideally 5 weeks, but maybe uh, I may not be available on a particular days, 1 or 2 days. Give me buffer of 2-3 days, so 5 to 6 weeks. And if you miss any session, we have the recorded session access, and you can access them for the 6 months. Means every day. So now it is 8 o'clock, right? We will be ending our session around 7:45, sometimes 8 o'clock. So I will be updating that to the website by 11 o'clock. So if you miss any sessions, you need not to worry about. And the study material in form of PPTs, PDFs, code snippets, and my dear, I would say, don't rely on the material, rely on the practice, practice, practice. If I give 1,000 pages of the PDF, will that suffice the requirement? No, my dear. So in a live session, please, try to practice it, and that's how you can digest it. As I said, a lot of material is available in the internet, and I cannot give best than that. So I will show you, a few places where SAP has given the material where you can refer it, not read it, refer it, my dear. So, and I will help you how to refer that. I would say one of the best part of the training is assignments, my dear, and I hope everybody likes that, and everybody would like to practice it, and they would like to have the real-time assignments. Yeah. You do it, I'm ready to give the assignments to you. So endless assignments I can give it to you, but the clause is you have to submit the assignment, then only I can give one more. But as part of the curriculum, we have the assignments. As part of the curriculum, we have a set of assignments which I will be giving it to you. Additional to that, if you have completed, I can give the assignments regularly. Biswal, I will come to the point. Just give me a minute. Yeah, for further information, please always go to the smaxtraining.com. And yeah, these days I'm quite busy with a lot of work, my dear. So please help me, you know, you know, by WhatsApping to this particular number. Yeah. So if you are interested, just let me know, because this is a demonstration, and we are going to start it from the Friday, my dear. So I don't want to waste, I don't want to give you much more time. So tomorrow, day after tomorrow, again we have one more demonstration, which is Abapan Hana by Ganapati Adimulam. If you want to attend, you can attend it by clicking on it hard here. That is a kind of combo package. So it's a combo like Abapan Hana. We'll start with Abapan Hana, then Gateway and SAP Fiori. So demo is from tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow, yeah. Hey, it has not been updated. Excuse me. It should be. I'm the developer for this, so I thought I have updated it. Somehow. That's bad. Right. So people who are interested, just WhatsApp me. But both are at the same time. You cannot go ahead parallelly. But if somebody are interested in the combo package, they can join it. So first we are starting with ABAP and HANA, then the gateway, then we will come back with the ODATA. So yeah, that you have an allowance. Right, let me take up the questions from the people. Hey, Surendra, you have any question for me, right? You have lowered your hand. Biswal says, I'm a FICO consultant, also involved in SAP Fiori S4 project. Is it suitable for me to learn? Hey, my dear, I'm sorry. This course is exclusively for the programmers, my dear. My focus is more on programming rather than on the functional side. So if you are not a programmer, then if you are not in a popper, then I should say sorry, dear. This course doesn't suit you. Yeah. Surendra, what about you, my dear? You have question for me? Yeah? No, right? Oh, why I went to it back and down. So, yeah. thank you very much, my dear friends, for giving your valuable time to me. Any further questions? So as I said, you can go back and you can give me the feedback. I'm just searching where is my feedback. Yeah, in the meantime, you can watch these feedback from my students, my dear, and the people who are in a hurry, they can just leave.